when I'm out here, you know, when the sun goes down, I go to bed. I don't stay up till all hours. But when I get up really early in the morning, so I have time to read and pray.
No, it's not. It's not too far away either. It's not a bad drive.
Nope. And that ridge line has always formed for me a mental and even physical barrier. To the whole point of coming out here is to leave everything that stresses you behind. And so I can look there and see my wall is holding.
Yeah.
Is holding up, you know. My defensive wall.
Would that be a difficult part of the transition, finding another place to escape to, or?
No, I mean that's what was such a grace on that little trip I made to Tulsa. It's all going to work out fine, because otherwise it would be.
Yeah.
You know, this would be. You can imagine, you guys that appreciate the outdoors, this would be a very hard thing to leave behind.
Yes.
Plus, having access to 1,000 acres just an hour away.
Yeah.
Right. Those monks probably don't go outside.
They're always out there working.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They work.
Yep.
They garden. They do it
Around the monastery.
around the monastery. Yeah.
Have you been out there yet?
No.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's
It is.
I think Clear Creek is a year-round creek. It's
it
quite a
runs
bit
through.
larger than this, but the terrain is awfully close to this.
Yeah.
Not quite as arid. A few more hardwoods than cedars and such, but oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, this has something like the kind of beauty that a desert has.
Yeah.
So you first look at a desert, it looks like a total wasteland, but it slows you down to get into it enough to see what plants there actually are there, what kinds of creatures actually do live there, and then you form a relationship that way. Well, the same thing here. Even during the hot summer, you slow down enough, you start to notice things, the kinds of things that are here. I had a battle with a tree frog a few years ago that I was convinced was in that tree, very loud. I couldn't sleep at night. So finally one day I came up like we just did, and this frog went hopping under the cabin. This was before I had this wire around there. And I thought, that's who's keeping me up. So I spent a couple of hours trying to chase him, you know, sticking a stick through the front, trying to get him to hop out the back, then run around and catch him before he went back under. And he had me defeated. I could not get him. Well, when I first bought it, I was just camping in my camper in my truck when I would come out here. I was camping in a little spot over by that latrine. And at night, some kind of creature would come around and scream at me in the trees around where I was camping. And I never could see it, never could get a spotlight on it, had never heard a sound like it made before, kind of a high-pitched growling kind of a sound. Occasionally, I would grab my light and jump out the camper door and try to catch a sight of it, you know. Never could find it. So I assumed maybe it's a badger. I've never heard a badger. There are badgers out here. So I guess it must be a badger. So for years, and even after I built the cabin, occasionally I will hear that thing screech, either at me or just out in the woods. And then one morning I was walking up that little driveway, and I heard that sound, and I looked right over in the weeds over here where your car is parked. And it was a fox. And that's what had been making that noise all that time. There are foxes out here.
Yeah.
There's actually a little cave right past where we walked down that little driveway. There's a little cave right there, and I bet that was a den. and I had basically moved in pretty close to the den, and they didn't like that, so,
Yeah.
Protesting, huh?
so they were screaming at me.
Are there mountain lions here?
I have a neighbor 2 owners ago, the property next to me here, it's 150 acres, who tells me that he has seen mountain lion tracks on that property. I've never seen any on this property. They do have a range of like 50 or 70 miles, something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
a huge range, yeah.
And there are mountain lions over to the west of here, so it could well be. But I've never seen any. Wouldn't expect to see any.
Yeah, you probably won't see.
Yeah. They may have seen me.